Welcome to 2024, where you don't have to guess or guesstimate if we're going to be on time because we show up for our circle friends on time. Welcome to our first show of 2024. Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast. I am your host, Charlie, with my girlfriend, Melanie. What's going on?
Happy New Year!
Yes. Feeling shiny and new.
Really?
Into this new year. How about you? How was your it's 2024.
I
Do you
know.
feel new? Do you feel different?
I don't feel new or different. I just feel like I've evolved more. But next month is my birthday. And I was our birthdays. And I was just thinking, bitch, damn, we're getting up there because I am turning I could say it, 35.
I mean, own it. I love someone who owns it.
Of course I'm gonna own it, but I can't believe I'm turning 35. I used to be that little bitch that used to think that I was never gonna make it past 27. Like I was part of the 27 club. But here we are.
You thought that?
Always. I don't know why.
Oh
I don't know
my
if it's
God.
because I was obsessed with musicians that passed in their 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and artists and actors. But I don't know. I always was I never thought about being in my 30s, but I enjoy my 30s way more than I did in my 20s. But this new year, health and wealth I don't want to do a resolution. Fuck that. I want to just have something to focus on. And I'm focusing on health and wealth. How was your New Year's Eve? Or how did you spend your New Year's?
New Year's was good. New Year's Eve was great. It was a good weekend overall. I had fun New Year's. The New Year's Day, we woke up and it was almost 3 p.m. and we're like, whoa. But although we got in pretty late, but it was a lot of fun. I had fun. It was a restful day, but since last week I was already daunting.
Yeah.
It was already daunting to me. Damn, back to work. And
I was fine with going back to work. I didn't mind that. But a lot of people are literally still off this week. My brother is not working till next week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And for everyone wondering, what is this? I always have a cocky. I love my cocks. But, it's dry January, and I did it last year. And I'm challenging myself. I love challenges. I'm going to do it again. You know what else I added to my, I was writing out in my journal, this weekend. I also did that. You asked me how I spend it. I did my little spiritual stuff, journaling, manifesting, and all that stuff, praying. And I was writing in my journal, and I put also, I want to, in March, when I come back for my birthday, do dry March until Easter. I know Lent starts a little before, so I can't say it's for Lent because I'm doing it a little after Lent starts, but
I can partake in dry January, but I don't drink like that. I think when was the last time I had a drink? I don't recall.
When Christmas Eve, didn't we drink?
We had the blackberry wine. Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't drink like that. I would pass that shit with flying colors. I'd be forgetting sometimes when I drink anyway. I did start.
That's how much you don't drink.
Yeah, I did start a new old show this on New Year's Day. I started watching The Sopranos.
But you never seen it before?
I never saw The Sopranos before.
No, I mean,
I know how it
never
ends.
have.
I know how it ends, and it sucks because people fucking ruined it. I mean, no one ruined it for me. I think I remember watching it in one of those VH1 shows that they did a recap and they basically say how it ends. But I'm gonna go and watch. I started watching it and there's 6 seasons. I'm already in season 2, episode 1.
But those HBO shows usually had 12 episodes.
I think this season one had. The first season had 13 episodes, and they're an hour long.
Okay.
So I don't even know how I finished watching the season so fast because I started literally on Sunday or Monday. When was New Year's Day? Monday? Yeah.
Monday. Yeah, this week feels weird.
Yeah,
because
well,
of Monday.
we'll see how I feel, but right now, so far, I like it. I can see why people are like we're obsessed with it with the whole like mob shit.
Hmm.
But for me, I don't know. I think Peaky Blinders is like better than The Sopranos. That's my thought right now.
Well, I never even heard of Peaky Blinders before. So
You,
I
you,
never seen, I never heard of it.
I've heard of it before, but I never paid attention to it. I really feel like that's a show that I don't know. Is that your vibe? I don't know if that's your vibe.
You know, when you say Peaky Blinders, I think that old show Twin Peaks. That's what comes to
Nah,
me, but it's
I've heard of
obviously two different shows.
that's
Yeah,
another show that I've heard that is good. I've never watched that either,
I
but
tried watching it actually. Like I
yeah,
tried
I don't
watching it,
think
but I fell asleep.
you won't like Peaky Blinders because it's like very like rugged men, British men,
Mhm.
more my vibe.
Yeah. You know what else happened New Year's Eve? Bad Bunny dropped a video
Mhm.
for his latest single of his latest album, um, No Me Quiero Casar. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album. So I was very happy when I seen it pop up on YouTube. One thing I gotta tell him though, like stop with the long ass 10-minute videos. Like we live in an age where we're like almost all ADD. Ain't no one got time to be sitting there waiting for the damn song to start or fast forward through all this shit to
You
like
thought that was
the
bad.
song.
Hello, El Apagón was what, half an hour?
Yeah, that. But like he did it with Monaco recently, and then even
I never even seen that
this
video.
other video. That one has Al Pacino in it. And he just has a whole monologue with him, and it's like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
just do a little damn regular video. Stop doing these long things. But back to the video, I hit you up because instantly, I catch if I know a Pisces and I know how Pisces could be on brand with certain things. I caught a few things right at the beginning, subtle shade of basically in Spanish. If you watch like them asking him if he's gonna get married, he's like, oh no, whatever. But then what really surprised me was the end of the video. It's him with a bunch of models,
Mm.
right? Alluding to me, I took it as Victoria's Secret Angel lookalikes. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. And then
No,
as the models leave, one of them comes back running to the door. And I'm sorry, but the girl looks a little like Kendall Jenner.
it's giving Jenner with the
It's
hair.
giving Kendall Jenner, yeah. And basically, he doesn't open the door. Basically, the message with that is he doesn't open the door, so she leaves disappointed, and they show a shot of him basically just focused on his music.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Yes, there you go. So you had your opinions on the video. You had your opinions on the video and him, and you feel that he's heartbroken
No,
because she didn't want to get married.
no, is that what I said?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think that I don't think he's heartbroken. I think that Pisces, I mean, not all because that's for a later conversation, but I think you guys are dreamers. You guys do fall for people. Sometimes it might not be the right person, but it happens. And like, I think that maybe he did fall for Kendall. And if you notice their interactions and their dynamic from like just still shots and paparazzi shots and like video, it seems like he shows more of like interest in her and like being like more lovey-dovey than she is towards him.
Mm.
And maybe this is, I don't know, maybe he did want to settle down and want to get with her or like be serious, and she shut that down. Personally, I think Kendall Jenner is in the LGBT community. I think you can't be in a freaking family like that of all these people, and then there isn't one gay person, lesbian,
But why
bisexual.
Kendall? Why Kendall
Kendall's
though?
always given me strong masculine vibes. I met her when I worked at Victoria's Secret. First of all, I she wasn't that like popular when she started off in Victoria's Secret, like her first show. And I'm not gonna say the story, but basically, like we had to dress her and like ew. But anyway, I never got like her being. Her nickname is Kenny. How much less Bonnet can that get? No, but on all jokes aside, I feel like maybe she didn't like show him affection, I guess, as much affection as he would. And maybe they just broke it off. But then apparently, I guess now they're like hanging out for New Year's. So what the fuck is
Exactly.
going on?
It's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe,
Workers be leading people on, by the way. And I'm not saying it from experience, but I don't know.
I don't know what it was about New Year's from Cardi B wanting to get dick down by Offset, and she admittedly said it. She's like, "We're not back together, but I need a dick." Her
I
words, not
mean,
mine.
it's dick that's there. Like,
I guess, and they both had an event apparently together in Miami anyway, so it happened. She said, and then I guess we have Bad Bunny and Kendall like after he basically dropped the video, and then they're hanging together. So it's like whatever.
she's lucky she don't speak Spanish and she understands. Like, if she was smart, she would go on Google and Google translate his lyrics and everything because she would realize like you're Boo Boo the fool. But then he's Boo Boo the fool for messing with her because I'm telling you, she's gonna come out riding a horse and a big lesbo horse. I don't know. I'm waiting for the day that she's
But I think they're both. But I told you also, I think they're both in the LGBTQ. I know I've said this before. Bad Bunny's like bisexual.
Yeah, that's why.
Maybe that's why they get
I
along.
think
They
the gays
understand
want
each
him to
other.
be bisexual so bad.
No, no. So basically, you think everything he's done, and I've really followed his career, and just things he said in interviews, everything he's done is just gay baiting, you think?
I don't think it's gay baiting. I think that he looks like a very sexual person, and there are people that they just see sex as like an object and something that to do, and maybe he doesn't care. Like he I don't want
But
to
what
say
do you
lives
call
to the
that,
applause.
bisexual or open?
I think he's open. I think he's fluid. I think he wants like he'll experiment just to get it out of the way and not, and he wants to break down that whole machismo whole thing. You know who is, I don't want to say he's similar, but he had an interview where he was saying like, of course I've had gay sex, I'm an actor, and there's something great about like gay men and I respect them. Tom Hardy.
Oh wow.
Bane, Venom.
Mm.
Yeah, he was also on the Peaky Blinders. Anyway,
I love Tom Hardy.
me too, bitch. I love a British man.
That's someone I could take thing. But moving on to someone else we love, Britney Spears kind of announced she quit. She has quit music. She kind of alluded to it and said it in her book. If anyone read her book, The Woman in Me, but on a recent Instagram post, she, well, actually, no. Before we get to her Instagram post, there's been a lot of reports, especially the last week, that Britney Spears is going to collaborate with the likes of Charlie XCX.
Charlie XCX, yeah.
Or whether collaborate or have Charlie write songs for her. And then as recently as today, Julia Michaels, who also worked with Britney on her last album, Glory, was supposed to be writing songs for Britney.
No,
but Britney has came up. Glory was a good album, though.
No, it was not.
Glory was not a bad album. You cannot say Glory was a bad album.
Wait, am I confusing it? Well, Britney Jean was the worst.
Jean. Yeah, Britney
Glory
Jean
was good, but Glory was not. Out of a 10, I would give it a 5.
A 5?
Yes, and Britney Jean, I would give that shit a -7.
Glory was not a 5.
Okay, a 6. If I'm Dancing was a bop. Yeah.
So Britney Spears says, just so we're clear, most of the news is trash. They keep saying I'm turning to random people to do a new album. I would never return to the music industry. When I write for fun, I write for other people. For those of you who have read my book, there's loads that you don't know about me. I've written over 20 songs for other people the past 2 years. I'm a ghostwriter, and I honestly enjoy it that way. People are also saying my book was released without my approval illegally, and that's far from the truth. Have you read the news these days? I'm so loved and blessed.
I just feel I don't want her to come back. The same thing with Rihanna. I think that they have evolved and they don't need to they don't need to entertain anyone. They need to just focus on themselves. I don't know. I don't understand why people are like forcing them to come back and have a comeback and have music. I think being a singer and being an artist, like the same thing with Andre 3000. After a certain age, and I don't want to be ageist, but like after a certain age, there's certain things that you can sing about, rap about, talk about, whatever. But I think with Britney, the music industry failed her, the media failed her. And I think if she comes back to that, it's gonna take her to a place where she's gonna remember and it's gonna fuck up her mental health even more than she is. She's already fragile. I don't
Yeah.
think that she needs to. If we're anyone is her real fan, they just want to see her win. Enjoy the music from the past. And I've noticed there are previous artists and singers and music groups from back in the day that we love and we admire and we still listen to this day that I don't think in today's modern world they would work with the whole streaming and the way that they would advertise their music and like be on the road and all this shit. Like it doesn't work for everyone. That's
Yeah.
why like we're excited to go see Madonna in a couple weeks. But I think is Madonna gonna release another album after this? I doubt it. She has so many hits.
I feel like Madonna though, like look at Cher. It's about reinvention, though. Some people have it and some people don't. I could see Madonna. I could absolutely see Madonna releasing another album. Absolutely. Cher did it with a Christmas album, but it worked. It worked for her. So you know, yeah, dead ass. But it worked, and she has another number one song in a decade, creating a new record for herself, having a number one in each decade for a female. That's amazing. Some people could do it, and some people, you know, they fall out of it or they fall out of love with it, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate, especially with her, because it was you. In all her interviews and even in her book, it was such a passion. You know what I mean? But that's why, like, people have passions, but they don't know their like nitty gritty dark side of like certain industries, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know?
Even passions have expiration dates.
Listen, yeah. Oh, that's something
So
to definitely delve into as another in a different topic debate. But as you were saying, leaving certain things behind that certain people do, I have a little game for us called "Love It or Leave It." 2023 was just so yesterday, like Hillary Duff said, and 2024 just ushered in, like Usher will at the Super Bowl. So we have some fads of 2023 that I want to go down the list, and we are going to decide if we want to leave it in 2023 or love it into 2024. So let's get into this list. Are you ready?
yep.
The scandal of it all.
Leave it.
Yes, I never got into it. I don't get it. Leave it. I never got into it. I don't care for it.
Leave it, even though it's going to play out January 30th. Vanderpump Rules comes back to Bravo. However, I think this new season, season 11, they're going to transition from the aftermath of Scandal. So we can definitely leave it.
Barbie. Not Barbie, the friend of a show, but Barbie the movie, and everything that was Barbie in 2023. Love it into 2024 and leave it in 2023.
I'm going to love it and keep it because Barbie is timeless. I think it's great that they did the movie. Now, I will say they shouldn't do a sequel. Like, leave it as is. Love it and leave it.
Yeah, I agree. Next, AI generated.
Everything.
What's going on? Yeah.
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Love it.
Really?
People, yeah. I mean, there are things. I mean, I've been using Chat GPT or whatever it's called. GPT. Yeah. I use that. And
what's that?
It's an app where you just like text or like you can just say, hey, I need a list of make a plot, make a story about 4 old ladies that live in a house in Miami, and it creates like it's a freaking like story or whatever, like Golden Girls style. But I don't want to say
That's
AI.
some scary times.
I don't think AI is entirely bad. I prefer AI over fucking Bitcoins and NFTs.
I don't know. There's nothing I can say, even if I want to leave it in 2023. It's definitely up and coming and starting, and it's going to get bigger. So, next, love it or leave it. Sexy Red.
The rapper?
Rapper, the girl, Sexy Red, yes.
Leave it. I think she's pregnant right now. I just want her to go have her kid and be lost in the abyss, not come back. Because it's not going to be cute for her to be shaking her ass and bending her ass over and asking for a pappy when she just gave birth. I don't know. I'm not.
I never got into her anyways. Besides, although I do like that song with her and Drake, Sexy. Yeah, I do like that song, and I be giving that ass over. But besides that, we could leave her. Next, the big red sneaker craze.
Bitch, that was
leave
left
that shit. No, that was 2023.
Was it? I could have sworn that was 2022.
Very early 2023. It was 2023. But put fads in 2023. Yeah, leave it. Next, last year it was big. Oh wait, no. First, pop culture themed tops. Love it or leave it. The Britney's shirts, the George Michael's on the shirts, the Aaliyah's, the Nirvana's, the
throwback retro style. Yeah, leave it. I mean, not leave it. Sorry, I would love it. I like it.
Yeah, why not? I love to see people representing different music throughout the ages. Love it or leave it. The Grimace trend. Grimace was very popular last year because it was his birthday, and there was a lot of kids that loved the Grimace shake and everything. Love it or leave it.
I never got to try the Grimace shake.
I'm gonna say leave it. I never did.
I'm gonna say love it because I heard he's part of the LGBT community.
Nah.
He is.
Cannot. Next, love it or leave it. The Renaissance fashion trend. As we know, Beyonce last year had everyone dressing in the shines and the Renaissance looks, and I definitely still seen it on New Year's Eve. So love it or leave it.
I'm gonna say love it because it's sitting in my closet right now, and I like to whip out that cowboy hat and sing heated. But it was different. It was a different vibe, and only Beyonce could do that. Like create a whole style of dress
of all these people. Yeah, right.
Also, we got shouted out so much for our outfits. Love it.
Yeah. And last but not least, this was a trend, and it became a trend 2022 into 2023, and it rocked 2023, and it's still a big, big trend. Love it or leave it. The big O, Ozempic.
Love it, bitch, because I'm trying to get on that shit. Anyone want to endorse me? Anyone want to give me free Ozempic? No, but honestly, I want to say love it because it did save a lot of people's lives. I know
it was ruptured some people's buttholes too.
Shame on the people who don't need it, that used it just for weight loss, and the people who needed it were stuck having to get substitutes comparable prescriptions. My brother went through that, and it sucks because he has diabetes, and if it wasn't for Ozempic or any of the semaglutide, I mean, I don't know what the hell would happen, but it does suck. I hope that they need, first of all, for this year, they need to make that shit more accessible, make a lot more, and make that shit free.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully, maybe
as I over fentanyl.
There's so many people, no, but fentanyl is so totally different from a weight loss diabetic thing. Well, but I've seen so many different versions now of Ozempic though. Even on the trains, take this thing advertising.
The name of it. It's the generic name. The actual thing composition, what it's made out of, is semaglutide. So you could have a semaglutide and call it Charlie's. But Ozempic is a brand, so there's different types.
But I'm assuming Ozempic's the Louis Vuitton out of the different ones, no?
Yeah, I think so, because it was not the Louis Vuitton. They all do the same thing. I think it was just the one that was more it was advertised and more accessible to everyone. So think of the vaccines. Ozempic would be Pfizer, and then the other one, Monjaro, whatever, would be like, what was the other
Got
guy's
it.
name?
There was like I forgot,
Johnson and
but that got
Johnson.
Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, and then there was one more. There was another one.
I don't know. I'm a Pfizer girl.
But yeah, same. But moving on, yesterday we couldn't wait for the new year to start because the Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City finale aired, and they made us wait 2 weeks for finale. They usually don't do that. Now, I didn't know how anticipated this was. I didn't know how anticipated how big it was because I even had people hitting me up today. And this goes to show, shout out to our people who listen to us, watch us, support us when they can. This goes to show, and this is what I love about this podcast, when people ask me, what's your podcast about? A little bit about everything. Because not everyone that watches the show may like be into everything we talk about, but I know we have an audience for some with everything we do talk about. I really got hit up asking if we're going to talk about the Salt Lake City finale, Melody. And I'm like, it is written in the notes. It is written in the stars, as you guys see shooting up. I mean, first of all, let's start off with the newbie, Monica Garcia, who basically was new on the block this season. I'm sorry, she brought it this season. I didn't know what to expect. I was waiting for Mary's return, and Mary brought it too, although I'm upset Mary wasn't in the last one episode. But from episode one, this girl, like, I was hooked. I was hooked on her. Last night, it was the season finale, and some shit went down, and I'm going to let you take it and just give the people a rundown, and then we're going to get into opinions.
So last night, in the season finale of Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
One of the greatest finales ever.
It was brought to Heather's attention. She's been trying to find and confirm this evidence and all this information that Monica was the person, one of the many people behind the account, the blogger account, Reality Von Teese.
Mm-hmm.
They confronted her before Heather even like confronted Monica at the dinner table. She had a little, it looked like a seance. It reminded me of that movie, what is it?
The Craft?
The Craft. That's what the cult. They had a little get together, and she basically broke the news to Lisa Barlow, Whitney, and Meredith. They're the original four of the season, of, like the show. So when she basically brought this onto her and asked her, like, we know who you are, you're Reality Von Teese. I will give props to Monica for actually like coming clean and saying like, yeah, it's not entirely true, and like saying her piece. I didn't feel that she spoke enough on the dinner table, but again, how was she going to when everyone was so upset and
everyone was coming at her?
Everyone was coming at her left and right, but I felt like she got so defensive. She kept calling people names and going off instead of her like speaking her truth. I cannot wait for that freaking season reunion. It's a 3-parter. That shit needs a fucking 4-parter.
You think so?
Yeah. As far as Monica goes, listen, she's a beautiful girl. She's very relatable. When she first came on, I was happy that there was a Hispanic or a Latin person, because obviously it's Utah ill. But also I feel like her story, her situation, and her relationship with her mom is very relatable to a lot of people. Like, there are mothers that are like that, and trust, it takes a lot of therapy to go over the hill. Anyway, the only thing I do want to say about her that I was just kind of disappointed with everything is like, you are a person that will own things, and you're so quick to say, I own it, in the words of Lisa Vanderpump. But like, if you knew you were going to get close to these girls, and as you said, Gossip Girl didn't say Gossip Girl forever, why didn't you just like sit them all down and be like, hey, I want to let you guys know I was running this page. The reason as to why is because we wanted to take Jen down, and you guys unfortunately were collateral. If she would have probably said that and came clean, I'm pretty sure that the other girls would have been receptive to it, because after, being truthful will get you places. Now, the fact that they haven't spoken since that final scene, none of them have spoken. They've seen each other during BravoCon this November. They
Some
didn't
of
even
them,
have
yeah.
they didn't even have a panel because of this finale. And I
Hmm.
knew that this finale was gonna be like some shit because it wasn't just the whole lawsuit with Beauty Lab and Laser.
It
It
was
was
a
more than
lot. It was more than that, yeah.
I was literally gagged. However, shame on me for not knowing who Reality Von Teese was because I had no idea. I don't be on blogs like that. Only the ones that matter. Shout out
Hmm.
to the ones that we follow and the ones that have come on the show. But yeah, just I texted you last night and I said, Monica she follows us. She's a fan of the podcast. However, that look did not make her look good. But I
Yeah.
will say I'm very intrigued to see what's in her burn book and what other roles other people played because I'm pretty sure she wasn't the only one. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
don't think she. Yeah, I don't think she ran it. And then this bitch, I love it. She really before the season finale even airs. Again, she's owning it. She knows what's gonna come out, and basically hours before the finale, basically posed one of a series of pictures. This being one of it, with the headlines basically owning it, and like I love it. It's so cunty. It's so real. Like it's so like I don't know. It's just entertaining. It's
What sign is
entertaining.
she? A Taurus?
Or Taurus.
Tauruses are known for
I didn't
throwing a
expect.
rock and hiding their hand. But I feel like she had no choice but to let it be known like that all this is going to happen because a lot of times when you have secrets to hide, you're going to throw them out there first so people don't use it
Yeah,
like against you. So, I mean,
and
in
I
that
like that.
aspect, she's smart.
I like that. Yeah.
In that aspect, she's smart. However, she did make a point where she was like, I don't think talking shit about people in a blog is as bad as that, like taking money from the elderly.
People's
I
money.
agree with
Yeah.
that. However, you weren't just talking shit about Jen Shaw, you were talking about other people. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But it looks like the post that she did of like previous people or like Heather or Lisa Barlow or anyone else, they've been removed since.
Well,
And I
so
think that
wait.
that
So the blog
Tanisha
is still
girl,
up. It's still up.
yes, girl, I ran straight to Instagram while I was on a commercial break and I looked up the account. It's still up, but it doesn't all it has is like post about Jen Shaw. It doesn't have anything negative about the other ladies. So
Mm.
it seems like things were cleared up and cleaned up while she became a housewife. I would
I mean, this Jen Shaw. I mean, Jen Shaw. Even
Jen
behind
Shaw had
bars,
something to say.
Jen Shaw. I know. Do you have the quote? Well,
Um
because it was also
yeah,
revealed
yes,
something
I
else
have it
that
right
was
here.
before we say you say the quote because we didn't mention this. Something else that was revealed in the season finale was Heather finally, and it was anti with everything going on. Her admitting that Jen punched her was anticlimactic because it was like it's something we all knew. She got asked so many times on so many different interviews. She lied, and it's like you're saying this all now. Why? Because most likely
She's
she knew Monica would leak that or something. But anyways, Jen
yeah.
Shaw has something to say about
Well,
that revelation.
part of the reason also I feel that Heather Gay came up and said, um, I'm getting text message in real time about the housewives. That's crazy. Shout out to Jamie Liz. Anyway, so part of the reason I think Heather did come up and tell people the truth about her eye was because her place of business was also at like they were speculating that she got bad Botox done at Beauty Lab and Laser, and that was the reason, that was the reaction that she got her eye getting messed up. So she wanted to set the record straight, I guess. Anyway, so this is the quote that Jen Shaw, currently imprisoned in the same prison as that other con artist, Elizabeth, whatever her name is. Bravo. If I punched Heather in the eye, you guys would have footage to prove it. It's clear that it's clear the show can't live without me since I was brought up in the beginning, middle, and end of season 4. Andy is still butthurt that I turned down his one-on-one interview. Why would you sit down with someone who gave someone another cast member a black eye? Next story. So Andy Cohen this morning in his radio show, Radio Andy on Sirius XM, he basically clapped back. I don't know, I'm paraphrasing because I haven't heard it yet, but I saw a clip. He basically says that he's not butthurt at all. If anything, she wanted to have the one-on-one, was adamant that she was still innocent and wanted to prove her innocence. And after they found out that she lied and they had all the evidence that she lied, they were like, why are we going to sit down and pay? Because she was asking for money at that point, like lots of money.
Yeah, she was asking for money.
Andy was like, why would we pay for you to lie in my face again? For that, I'd rather not
do it at all, yeah.
Go anywhere. Yeah, so delusion. Delulu. The new word, delulu.
That was right. No, seriously. Well, while she sits behind bars, I have my little theories, Melody, especially with Monica. I know Monica's coming back. I just feel a lot of blogs, a lot of people, and I don't care what they say. Bravo does pay attention to the blogs and the people and stuff, and a lot of people are liking her. I just don't see her not coming back. I think there has to be some more storytelling to all this.
Well, she alienated herself, and once you alienate yourself, and this is from the book, not all diamonds and rose. Once you alienate as a housewife, once you alienate yourself and you put yourself in a little island and you make the viewers hate you and the other housewives hate you, there's no going back. So chances are she's not gonna come back. She did say in her live that she hasn't been asked to come back.
No one's been asked back. It's usually once the reunion starts airing is when they start, or after it airs is when they start making decisions.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, personally, I would like her to come back because I think she needs to I think she needs to.
Yeah, she needs the money. Yeah, she does.
She needs the money.
She has some daughters. Yeah, she has daughters, and everyone with daughters and kids who love their kids. I do support them, getting some income. I wouldn't want to wish someone getting fired and taking away money from their kids. Her girls. She has like 4 girls. So I hope she does come back, but she needs some redemption there. But I seen this thing that I wanted to share because going into 2024, I think a lot of people get introspective, whether it's about fitness stuff or whether it's about themselves, their life, areas of their life, especially relationships and love. And I ran into something that J. Cole explaining the reality of long-term relationships. And this is something that I think I've kind of loosely shared with you last year in regards to relationships and my relationship. And, I'm not going to sit here and be cookie cutter and like everything's perfect. Like we all go through bumpy things in relationships. I went through some bumpy things last year, but like I told you, us personally together, our behind the scenes conversations, I'm at a stage where I just don't want to throw things away so easily. And, and how any type of relationship, anything is true work. So I'm going to play what J. Cole said because he explained it so well. So hopefully, the audio plays and we could hear it and make it up. So here we go.
From life experience that shit didn't always feel like it felt when y'all first met. That's not how it always felt. People get married thinking that I'm meeting you, and this shit feel like this, and we on the high, and I'm gonna marry you because, man, this shit been feeling like this for a year straight. I already know I got my person. It's gonna feel like this forever. Shit, 2 years after you get married, and that shit don't feel the same, then it's like, damn, I guess we're not supposed to be married. No, you gotta now find a new way to fall in love with this person from this valley that y'all in. You gotta find a way to get back to the peak. So what does that take, man? We gotta go on more dates. I gotta listen more. Shit, I gotta turn this IG off because they keep suggesting all the baddest bitches. I gotta stop looking that way so I can just focus on this and appreciate what I got. Look at people that have been married 40, 50 years. How many times did they have to fall back in love with each other? How many times could they not stand each other? How many times did they say, you know what, instead of separating, I'm gonna make it work and I'm gonna fall back in love with you?
What do you think about that?
I think A lot of people, when it comes to social media, a lot of people blame social media for many reasons, but when it comes to relationships, like that could be a downfall. Social media plays a role in many like relationship breakups and such, or even finding love on social media. That's it's a balance. However, in this occasion, he's right. Like it's hard to fall in love with the same person after a while. Sometimes people fall out of love as time progresses and time goes by.
That does happen.
But I don't think I feel like people need to work on themselves and find discipline in not falling for things on social media. Like when he said he doesn't you can't be on social media like that because it'll suggest the baddest bitches or the finest men or whatever. True, but you could see those people for what they are, or like just see them and leave them in a point. You don't have to like
engage and entertain.
You don't need to engage. You can disengage from that. If someone reaches out to you or sends you a message or whatever, and you're in a relationship, I think open communication is very healthy, and expressing that to someone and keeping it under wraps because you're afraid that your girlfriend's going to be upset if you don't tell her. I think if my boyfriend was got reached out by some random girl and she's good looking or whatever, and she was trying to like flirt with him or something on social media, I would like for him to tell me and for him to obviously shut it down. But at the end of the day, that's not something you can force someone to do. People have to have discipline and like at least self-respect for themselves and also respect for the other person. And that doesn't happen very often. So I believe that, but I also feel like a lot of people play the whole social media ruined my relationship role. It does. I mean, it has.
Well, I think he mentioned social media as one of the things, but for me, the way I listen to that whole thing, and it's just, I know he said putting the phone down sometimes because putting Instagram down sometimes because it's just about his bitches. It's true, like it's sometimes putting it down, and sometimes let's be real, like even within friends or whatever, when friends go out, like that whole rule of putting the phone on the basket because everyone's on the phone. Imagine couples that do get so used to themselves that then they kind of become desensitized when they're always on the phone and detached from each other.
I've been in situations like that. I've even gone on dates where the guy was literally on his phone. Do you think he got a second date? Absolutely not, because you're wasting my time and you're basically like entertaining other people when you should be like we should be entertaining each other. And also in relationships too, I think people get so comfortable and it doesn't even have to be like a boyfriend girlfriend boyfriend scenario. It could be with friends. If we're having a conversation and you're like basically expressing something or just talking about your day, and I'm here on my phone not really paying attention to what you're saying, in your shoes, I would be offended by it because it's like people are not giving each other the undivided attention that they deserve to have.
Yeah, and with also finding the dates, like where Hippie was falling in love again, like go on dates, like do new things. I think it's very important. Even with my brothers, it was kind of in our group chat. One of them mentioned also like you got to keep things alive, and it is hard. You know what I mean? It is hard and spicy and a lot of things. It is hard, but it's that willingness to do it. You know what I mean? Because yes, like you said, people fall out of love, but why did they fall out of love? Because they weren't getting something that they needed from someone else.
It's not only materialistic things where like let's go and travel. If I am a type of person, I like quality time, right? If I am laying down watching a movie with you or watching a TV show and enjoying quality time, or we're just literally just laying down or hanging out on the couch and having a conversation about life or whatever, and like expanding each other's minds and having deep centered thoughts, that makes me fall for a person even more than just like trying to take me out to dinner and like not have anything of depth in a
Mm.
conversation in the dinner table. Like people need to get to know each other a lot more before wanting to be in a relationship.
Hmm. And I think that's the beauty too. Well, that's the beauty of like continuing to get to know each other, open and expanding and
Mhm.
growing in a relationship. Like that's the thing. It's also I believe, and this was I said it myself. I said it in prayer, and I said it a lot to my guy in the last month. I'm like, what I look forward to the new year for me, my personal growth, ours, yours, because why would I want to be with someone who is not growing themselves individually?
Absolutely. The last
And
thing,
then
that's why I cut up.
I took you to church. You did a ooh.
I
Was
was
the
gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say something because I know people be watching. But I will say, I think this year for me, I might don't waste my queen space.
Ooh,
I have
come
like
on, Queen.
like I said, I've elevated myself, and I feel like if you're not in that same wave, if we're not wanting to do this, not wanting to do the same things, but having the ultimate end goal together, then don't waste your time with me. I don't want to entertain someone that I know I have nothing, like no future with.
It's fun when you're younger, and I don't want to put age on it, but let's take age away and let's add the word wisdom. It's just as wisdom creeps up, as you gain more wisdom with the years, you're just not still down for the shits of like you said, knowing it's not going to go somewhere, but you're still fucking around with that person. Now,
Like
if something's
giving your
toxic,
energy. There's people that
yeah,
are energy soul suckers. You
energy
can't waste
vampires,
your
yeah.
time with people like that because, and I don't even want to go into like air, like signs, but like you can't waste your energy with someone who's not going to reciprocate it in the same way, in the same fashion. And I have a rule. When it's a new year, when people are acting up and I start questioning their like energies or like their existence in my life, and it's about to be like the new year, I give them an expiration date. If by December 31st you don't get your life right or get your mind right, you are out. It's not two strikes. You only got a few hours. You got 12 hours till you're gone.
Well,
So
you mean 12 months?
well, yeah, yeah. I don't let it go down that long. I
No, you don't. You don't. Usually you
no.
don't. You realize after a thing, but I mean, but that's the thing. It's like that's people crave relationships, but they're not ready for that level of like commitment and putting in work, like J. Cole said. And that's what struck me. And when I listened to it, I'm like, I so bad. I'm like, we definitely got to talk about this because, again, I feel like a lot of people respect J. Cole. He has a lot of fans in the hip hop community. So,
I'm not a big J. Cole fan. I can name a few, like a couple songs that I will say he's a good rapper. I know people are obsessed with him. He got a couple songs that I know that I'm like, okay, Workout is a good song, and another song that he has, I forgot what it's called, but
you're better than me because I couldn't name it. I know I've heard his song, but I couldn't name
Tribe.
his song.
I think it's called Tribe. I really, really love that song. But I think for him to speak and say that, it like he will inspire many, especially the young ones, because he does have a voice and people do respect him as an artist, even as a basketball player. You know, he was supposed to be in the NBA. Anyway,
Didn't know that.
I do think what he said is legit, is great, but I ultimately, before you want to be in love with someone, you need to find out what love is.
And you gotta love yourself
Yourself.
too,
Come
because
on.
if you're like in a place where like you're just in a dark place, and there's nothing wrong. Like, don't. I'm not saying this so people could feel bad. Like, we all go through times where we don't feel our best, but those moments we have to work on ourselves. Trying to get into something, you're only now gonna make someone else miserable because now you're like spreading that whatever dark cloud you're carrying, it spills into your relationship. But when you're good yourself, you can show up good. You're showing up good for your relationship and all relationships. That's everything, not only your romantic one, but everyone else. So, shout out to J. Cole for that. That was a good piece for us to start the 2024 and hopefully inspire some love out there. You know, Valentine's is next month now, y'all. But now also, let's be careful for those holiday season people. You know, that want to get into a month relationship
I like
for
Valentine's
Valentine's.
Day. Don't get me wrong. Valentine's Day is a great, like, if you're in a relationship, that's great. If you're not in a relationship, you could still have a Valentine. I've had Valentine's even being single.
Yeah.
However,
weren't we Galentines one time?
Galentines. Yeah. Every year we're Galentines. But I feel that people shouldn't use that as an excuse or rush into a relationship just to be someone's Valentine. Like, you don't need to be in a relationship to be a Valentine.
We'll be speaking on more of that soon, as I'm sure as Valentine's approach. But listen, guys, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in into our first episode of 2024. Well, that feels so good here in our first episode of 2024, episode 199 episodes away from 200 episodes. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much for the support, for following, liking, listening, sharing. You could check us out here, YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you get your favorite streaming podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Same place, same time. Adios. And Happy New Year.